Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Vayakehel, we read about the kiyur, the wash basin where the kohanim would wash their hands and their feet, and there's a whole acrobatic way how they did it before they did the avodah. And actually in the Shulchan Aruch it says that's one of the reasons it is customary, it's a din to wash your hands before you daven, because when you daven you're like the kohen that was serving in the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash. Everybody knows that the pasuk says that the kiyur was made from mirrors. Why from mirrors? Mirrors in many ways doesn't really show for a modest thing. That's how people beautify themselves. So Rashi actually brings that this was a special mirror because even throughout the generations, and the Yidden were in Mitzrayim, and the Yidden were enslaved, and the Yidden were put through harsh times, the women managed to dress themselves nicely, not to help the mood of the house, help the mood of the husband, not to become brokenhearted, etc., etc. And as chutz that, they made the kiyur out of these mirrors, the maris hatzayvos. Now, in the Sefer Sifsei Kohen, the Shach al Torah, actually brings another reason for this, another halachic reason why the kiyur was made from mirrors. And he says, because when the kohen would bring the dam, the blood, would have to spritz the blood of the carbon, whatever carbon was brought to him, it was, the din was, or the custom was that the kohen, because this carbon was being performed on behalf of an individual who needs a kapara, so the kohen had to look in the face of the person who needs the kapara as he's spritzing the dam. And here's a problem. Halachically, it would not be modest, it wouldn't be tznius for the kohen to look face on, straightforward into a woman's face. Who knows where it could wander off, where his mind could wander off. So therefore, says the Shach al Torah, therefore they made the kiyur in mirrors. So when the kohen was bringing a carbon on behalf of a woman, he didn't look straight directly into her face. He looked out into the mirror, and by that he was able to see her, and it was able to accomplish what he has to accomplish as a carbon on behalf of the woman. However, the Minchas Elazar in Chela Gimel Siman Chaf Hey asks a very simple question. He says, if you are going to accept that a mirror is not a modest thing, and if you're going to accept that for a man to look at a woman could make his mind wander and it could lead to not proper thoughts, so how does that change if he's looking through a mirror or he's looking face to face? We know what could happen even through looking through a mirror. So what would it help by making the kiyur with the mirrors? And he actually answers, the Minchas Elazar answers a deeper pshat. He says the truth is, the Mishkan, it was a very holy place, the holiest place in the world. And in a place like that, Ein Yetzer Hara Shaylet. The Yetzer Hara has no control. Nothing wrong could happen in such a halik, a spiritual place like the Beis HaMikdash. And even if the kohen would look face to face to a woman, it shouldn't be any problems. It wouldn't mislead him because it's the presence of the Shechina and the presence of being in the Mishkan wouldn't allow it to happen. However, that was the kohen who was doing the avodah. At the same time, in the Beis HaMikdash, there were a lot of young kohenim doing different things, and they happened to be there doing their whatever the Pirchei Kahuna, the young kohenim would do. They were allowed to be there, and we were afraid that if the Minchas Elazar says, if the kohen wouldn't look through a mirror, if the kohen would look straight face to face to the woman bringing the carbon, they wouldn't understand that this is because it's in the Mishkan and therefore there is no hearer, there's no issues. They would think that halachically this is not an issue of tznius, and that's a false outcome because we all know the Yetzer Hara is mighty, mighty strong, and therefore says the Minchas Elazar, so Hashem b'chachmasoi shetziva b'tereseinu hakdosha. Therefore, with the great wisdom, not to let a mistake happen in the outcome, in a trickle-down effect. So the Hashem says that the kiyar should be brought from mirrors, made from mirrors. So when a woman brings a carbon, the kohen shouldn't look face to face. The kivan shemitzvah bikach, and the fact is that's the mitzvah. So the kohen won't have any issue because the kohen is doing a mitzvah. Everybody around doesn't see that problem to prevent a wrong, misleading halacha or behavior, that this is free for all. The Torah made that the kohen should specifically look through the maris hatovos.